and over. And then to turn off, you push it over. Then
This here's the video. I'm sorry, I did it wrong. This here is videotaping now. When you put it this here, click it this way. It's not videoing. So always make sure it's
so up and to the left.
right, man. Okay? I'm gonna show you how to do the sound system just in case I'm running late or something. It's only on Thursdays now, okay, fam? Okay? Now it's on, okay?
Yes.
Thank you so much, fam.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much.
I'll take this back.
I'll take it back, please. I appreciate you. Yeah? All right.
Well, Ed, do you know who he is?
Oh, 424, just up. 424?
Do you want to, I'm sure you don't want to be in our board minister, but
He might be out here because he might be at home.
you want to go to the table and have some cookies and drink?
They all the same
You
time.
have some?
It's just the right.
Don't get you a Coke. They pick your feet up, I'll bring you to the table.
You can share.
No, I need to fuck. He needs a new mask.
That's the guy for a Coke, but I don't know what else.
Thank you.
My table. We didn't know the diet.
What can I help you with?
We'll have a go with it. And I left space for my boss right here, Ed.
Yeah.
Thank you for putting this on, Don. Oh, you're welcome.
We're all right. You're all my people.
That's our whole time.
I left space for my boss.
I know you.
Yeah.
We'll take the comfy chairs.
Yes, that's right there. Thing like mine.
I like the little bunny tree.
Which these reclined? No, I'm just- I think we need to put in theater seats, you know?
Oh, me
That recline, recline.
Have a little cup here.
You don't, because
Cup on one side, cup on the other.
I mean, we find you sleeping.
Oh, I think you went there.
Well, I think we should have a room.
Hey, you want to know, I thought you were sitting
Be
here.
able to go and take a nap.
Yeah.
You know, if you want to bypass one.
My old job, we had one of those,
I don't
you
know.
know those rooms with like an apartment? And if somebody was sick, like I was sick one time, they let me go lay back there on the bed.
Where's this?
Because I couldn't even drive. Now to top cremations. Nursing homes. Which, by the way, I can tell you that my new patient last night said that she said nurse, but I'm guessing it was CNA, was very rough with him last night.
Oh, you checked the...
I got a complaint there.
What's she saying, a Coca-Cola?
Yeah.
Okay, all that makes sense. That's fine.
I don't know if they're teaching that.
Every time I get a good thing. I'm good, and you?
Hello.
Thank you.
Oh. I was going to tell you something real quick. I was going to tell you something real quick. Oh, yeah, I'm sorry, I didn't know you were with them. She's not in my room.
Here. I don't know. Give him that one. Let that one go around.
Well, I want to take that one.
Not here before long, you won't be. Oh, yeah, it's full of. Yeah. Take it. It's all
She's facilitating this particular.
Not the Coca-Cola.
Kenneth Walbrook.
No.
So you know him like that.
I need the pink one, yes. I need the pink one. Thank you. Will you pass me that one when it is done, please? Thank you.
Somebody might want to let him know, hey, he thought this was death. So he wasn't mad, he wasn't mean. He did work with me. He worked with me today. So I was taking that rush and just said, where? She's a fun guy. He was talking about being in Australia today. He was in the military and they went all over. And he and his wife were in Australia and told me about everything.
Nursing, this is nursing.
Hey Nicole, how are you?
Maybe there's two of them.
Oh, yeah, I got you.
Pretty well, or are you okay? Oh, you're waiting on nurses, okay. Only nursing. That's not you. Charles. Got it.
Yeah, I wonder if they're concerned.
A meat starter.
Carla.
All right.
Pass it around. Pink is for us. Nursing.
Here. Sir.
Sitting on.
Oh, yeah.
I said, here.
Can you guys hear? Oh, there we go. Okay. Good afternoon.
I think we have.
Hello, everybody.
Good afternoon.
So today we are talking about communication. How important is communication to what we do?
Everything.
Everything. And how important is communication to everything we do, live, and breathe? Right?
100%.
Is all communication verbal?
No.
Who knows how much is nonverbal? What percentage of communication is nonverbal when you're having a conversation?
80.
It is. It's 80%. Of course, speech can't answer it. I'm talking about communication. So the experts over here. All right, so let's go. Well, we're going to start out with a video here called the Talkcation.
Hello, people. Welcome to video 3. We're going to talk about So this is, I think this is my favorite video, so let's jump right in. Mac and Tosh are here. Let me see if I can move a little bit. There they are. Oh, look at those cuties. They're going to help us. So 5 points here, guys. Number 1, be proactive and not reactive. What do I mean by this? So don't, I think it's important, there's no such thing as over-communication in healthcare, okay? Patients and families, if you can kind of get your mind around their emotional state. You are at work, this is your everyday, this is no big deal to them. This might be the one time in their life they're hospitalized. This might be a very traumatic experience for them. Even if they're trying to save face, they may be scared. A lot of people are very unnerved and just not comfortable in the hospital. But we're balancing that with it being our everyday. So it's important to kind of keep that in the forefront of your mind. And remember to communicate things that even though they might be obvious to you, communicating them to other people. So be proactive with your education and not reactive, okay? And this kind of, I'm going to elaborate on this as I go through my other points. So proactive versus reactive. We'll keep talking about that. Number two, start off right. Okay, this is a big thing. When you take over from another nurse, whether it's a shift change or not, it is important to educate them about the plan. Okay, you have access to the chart, you have access to all of the healthcare providers. You can find out the answers to these questions very quickly without talking to anybody. They can't. They can't just log in and see what's going on and know what to do. It's important to tell them as much as you can. So whenever I get a report and the off-going nurse is gone, I'm like, okay, here we go. I'm going to talk about the day. First, you're going to have an MRI, probably around this time. I'm going to draw some blood. You're going to have some medications due at these times. Here's our pain management kind of plan. You're on oral meds. It's important you let me know before it's an emergency because these take a while to kick in. I want you getting up twice today. You know, as much proactive education that you can provide is so reassuring to people because they don't know what to expect. It's even helpful to know, hey, you know, around 10 a.m., between 10 and 11, a nursing assistant's going to come in and take your vitals. Like, you know, so they can have any resemblance of a routine or any resemblance of predictability is so reassuring to people. So, and people don't know to say, hey, tell me everything to expect. We as the nurse in charge of their care should be communicating that. So, that is so important when you take over for our patient. Even if it's night shift and you're going to be, the goal is sleeping all night, saying, hey, you know what, I'm going to be taking care of you tonight. I'm going to come in with medications at 9 a.m. We're going to have someone drawing labs at 4 a.m. And I'm going to come in and take vitals at midnight. So I'm going to do my best not to bug you in between those times because I want you to sleep. The goal tonight is to sleep because tomorrow you're going to work with therapy. We're hoping to get out of the ICU and go into the floor. Or we're hoping to discharge tomorrow. Like those kinds of things. So no matter what shift you're working, educating the person about what to expect is relevant. And an aspect of starting off the day right is how you introduce yourself. I think it's really helpful to go in and say, hey, my name is Katie, Mr. Smith. I'm going to be taking care of you. And something I like to do is I shake their hand. I want them to know, like, hey, human to human, I'm just here to take care of you today. And it is genuinely nice to meet you. And I shake their hand, and then whoever's in there with them. Don't forget to wash your hands after you do that. But
we just had the most amazing family vacation.
I think that really just brings it to the same level. I mean, we're here for the same purpose, to get you home and get you taken care of. And one of the other things I do want to introduce myself is if the patient has other people in the room that they're taking care, that are there with them, family members, support system, never assume who they are. Never assume, oh, this person looks like they're the age that it would be their mom, or their spouse, or their child. Never, ever assume, no matter how obvious it is, guys. I have called a patient's wife his mother before. Yeah, it's so embarrassing, so embarrassing. So the way that I do that, because it's easy to say, oh, is this your mom? Oh, is this your wife? Oh, is this your dad? Just say, and who do you got here with you? Who's this? And then if the patient's unconscious or can't respond, so how are you related to or connected to Mr. Smith? Never assume, guys. You don't want to make a video of yourself like I did. So remember, proactive versus reactive. Start your day off right. Third point, be confident. You want this person to feel safe with you. If you are confident, even if you don't know the answer to every question, but you're able to navigate situations, and you come into the room with this, not arrogance, but confidence, like, hey, my name is Katie, and I'm going to take good care of you today. How are you doing? You feel comfortable in your role, you feel comfortable as the nurse, you're kind of building that trust and that rapport, and to exude confidence, not arrogance, but confidence, is really reassuring to people. You want them to feel safe with you. You don't want to be making them more anxious or frustrated or sad or whatever. You want to be the confident, calming voice that comes in and says, hey, here's what's going to happen. You want them to be comfortable asking you questions and providing the answers and that kind of stuff. So be confident. The goal is for them to feel safe with you. So think about what would make you feel safe, what would make you feel good. And I think that rolls into our next point, number 4, is to start building trust early. Part of, if I feel safe with you, I trust you. So I want to trust your capabilities. I want to trust not only your capabilities of being a safe nurse, but your ability to get things done. That you're not just chasing your tail all day, but that if I say, hey, I need something, that you're going to follow through. And a really easy way to do that is to follow through with something really early. So if I'm getting reported and I'm like, hey, is there anything else I can get for you right now? I'm going to be back in whatever time. And I can say, and they're like, oh, I would love some water. I will go get the water right then and go get it for them. So it's like, hey, you want something? I'm going to be right back with it. So you know that, hey, I'm here. You asked me to do something. I'm going to follow through for you. And that really, at the beginning of the shift, really kind of starts you off on the right foot. And another aspect of building trust is providing predictability. Remember, these people are usually pretty worked up, even if they don't seem like it or act like it. They're not in their best time of their life, right? So if you can say, hey, even as small as, I'm meeting you for report, or I'm meeting you for the first time, I just got a report, and say, hey, it's nice to meet you. I'm going to be back. I'm going to get a report of my other patients. I'm going to be back within the hour. I'm going to do an assessment and bring some medications for you. Is there anything I can bring back with me when I come back? So they know the next time you're coming back. And then that you're able to say, okay, this is roughly the plan for the day. We may have things change, but our goal is going to be for you to walk twice, to be up in the chair for all the meals, to have your pain controlled at a 4 or below. Those kinds of things that you can say and provide this predictability. And one of those things about predictability, you never know when the physician's going to come by, right? You never know. So you can say, hey, I'm not sure what time the physician's going to be by because every day is different. They usually are on our unit between this time and this time. That may change, but regardless of whenever they're going to be here, they're going to see you today, okay? So, proactive versus reactive. Start off right. Be confident. Build trust early. And the final one, create a team mentality. A lot of people come into the hospital on the defensive. They think, okay, it's us versus them. The patient and family versus the hospital and the medical team, but you really want to create this, hey, we're all on the same team here. It's not you versus me, you know the best thing, and I don't. It's let's work together. If there's something I need to know that is important to you as the patient, please, I want you to feel like, hey, this is an open book. The priority is the care that you need and progressing you towards discharge and getting you better. And I want us on the same team. So that means if you see someone coming in here touching you and they haven't washed their hands, say, hold on, I need you to wash your hands before you touch my loved one. Same thing with me. If I notice the patient has gone to the bathroom and they haven't washed their hands, come in, make sure you wash your hands. We're on the same team with the same priority. So create this team mentality and dissipate that us versus them mentality and whatever you can do. And that sometimes requires us to be kind of humbled by someone correcting us and say, hey, wait, you forgot to put the SCDs back on before, you got them up to walk, they just got back in bed, let's say that happened, and you forgot to put their leg squeezers back on. That means that you're empowering that loved one to remind you, and not being insulted when they do. Keeping that team mentality is so important, and it kind of helps each other out. So those are my points, guys. Be proactive versus reactive. Start off right. Be confident. Build trust early and create a team mentality. All right, our next video is going to be about communicating during difficult.
What did we learn?
So,
Okay, so let's look at your handouts here. Let's see, I need to move away. So Stephen Covey once said, the most important ingredient we put into any relationship is not what we say or what we do, but what we are. What does that mean? What's that? How you act, what you believe. It's what comes from the heart, right? It's what's real, what is genuine. How do you genuinely feel about this person, about humanity, about life, about what you're doing, about who you are? That is something that, and those of you who has read Leadership and Self-Deception? Who's read the book? It's the book. All right, good. So, with the book, what is it that we have to do? Get out of the box. Okay, that's what they remember. What does that mean?
Look at people like people.
To treat people like people, right? Not to try and to put on airs, to treat them, to be false with people. Just be you, but be genuine. Genuinely care about people. That's why we're in this business, right? And if our words and our actions come from superficial human relations techniques, so we can't do it because we read a book and this is how we're supposed to act. We have to do it genuinely. That we really need to, this is how we would want to be treated, so that's why we are treating these folks this way. That's why we're talking to them this way. That's why we're telling them what we're going to do before we do it. That's why because we would want to know. If we were in that hospital bed sitting here, what would we want to know? How would we want people to let us know that we're going to be in the room? I'm going to come back and get your breakfast order. Then we're going to have breakfast. And you're going to get your medications. And then I'm going to get your lunch order. And in between, if you need me, you ring this light, and I'll be right here. Right? How reassuring is that? So it has to come from our inner core. We simply won't be able to create and sustain the foundation necessary for effective interdependence if we don't talk from the core, if we aren't genuine. So communication is the foundation of all our relationships. Do we agree?
Yeah.
All the way, right? Communication is the transfer of information from one place to another, and within relationships, it allows you to explain to someone else what you're experiencing and what your needs are. When people say we have a great relationship, what they often mean is how they feel when they talk with one another. They mean, I feel positive toward that person when we interact, and I send and I receive positive vibes with them. Is that true when you're hanging out with somebody that you feel comfortable with? It's all positive vibes. Do you misunderstand your friends? No. And why is that? Do they always say the right thing?
No.
No.
But we know who they are.
Exactly. Exactly. We always know they mean well, right? They love us. They mean well. That's all right. So effective communication shows respect and value of the other person, and it helps us to better understand each other. It makes us feel comfortable with each other and encourages even more healthy and effective communication. So how do we have better communication? How do we develop these techniques? Here's some things to do. set aside the talk without interruption of other people or distractions like phones, computers, or televisions. I'm going to skip around a bit on here. Be clear what you want to communicate. Talk about what you want, need, and feel. Use I statements such as I need, I want, and I feel. And we're going to do a little exercise here right after this about how to use I statements rather than being defensive, rather than putting other people on the offensive. Because we don't want to do that. Negotiate, and remember that you don't have to be right. Oh, it's time to get up. Negotiate, remember you don't have to be right all the time, right? Do we have to be right all the time? We are the healthcare professionals, darn it.
Yes, we do.
No, we don't. Do we have the right to tell people what to do when we're the healthcare professional?
No.
No. We got it. Now, if we know that somebody can do something and they ask for help, what does that mean? Maybe they need a caring voice, a caring arm, a caring shove, somebody to help them to get up or help them to get out of bed or just to be there. So we need to do it. Whatever they ask for us to do, we need to do it. If the issue you are having is not that important, let the issue go or agree to disagree. If you are experiencing high levels of conflict in your relationships, and I won't ask who you are, here are some recommendations. Do not use the silent treatment. Does that do anything? The silent treatment. Does that help? Is that communicating? You are communicating, right? With the silent treatment? But what are you communicating? The silent treatment, that's right. Don't jump to conclusions. Find out all the facts rather than guessing at the motives. Discuss what actually happened and don't judge. Learn to understand each other, not to defeat each other. Talk using the future and present, not the past tense. What's done is done, girlfriend.
Remember when you did that?
Right? Exactly. What's done is done. Leave it there. We are talking about the present and the future, and we are moving forward.
They would say to me, you're not moving forward, Jackie.
Hey, I didn't ask you to tell on yourself over there. I am not talking about you here. Concentrate on the major problem and don't get distracted by other minor issues. Talk about the problems that hurt you or your partner's feelings, then move on to problems about differences in opinions. And always use the I feel statements, not you are statements. Okay, you can read the rest on the tips on communication. I'm going to pass this out real quick. And I have my magic hat. Down over there. Here, take one and pass it around.
Yeah, that was well. Yeah. I know. Oh, last one that way too. I would write something. If that's better, that's using
I'm so used to it. Don't mind it. They're the idiots over here.
Didn't we just talk about communication?
Oh, I'm sorry. No, it doesn't.
Talk to Amanda. So look, this is what the deal is.
Okay, so let's look at my statement. When a person feels they are being blamed, whether rightly or wrongly, it's common that they respond with defensiveness. Right? As soon as somebody says, you did this, what are you going to say? No, I didn't. Not me. No, it was Dorian. I statements are a simple way of speaking that will help you avoid this trap by reducing feelings of blame. A good I statement takes responsibility for one's own feelings while tactfully describing a problem. I feel must be followed with an emotional word. Careful wording won't help if your voice still sounds blaming or your body language is blaming. Use a soft and even tone. And your explanation gently describe how the other person's actions affect you. Alright, so this is, so your spouse is coming home late. You can't keep coming home so late, it's so inconsiderate. Is that blaming? How do you feel that?
Yeah. I feel like Pan.
But if they say, I feel worried when you come home late, I can't even sleep. That's more disarming, right? That explains how you feel, and it tells them, hey, you know, I have a problem. Well, I mean, you never, what about, you never call me, I guess we just won't talk anymore. Okay. What did you say? I feel hurt when he goes so long without calling. I'm afraid you don't care. All right, so we're going to practice. So a friend always cancels plans at the last minute. Recently, you were waiting for them in a restaurant when they called to say they couldn't make it. So how can you say that? What's that?
You always go here. You always stay here.
Okay, so you don't want to say you. You want to say I. No, sit down. So let's talk about your feelings. Yes. There you go. I don't feel that you respect my time when we make plans and you don't show up. That sound good? Is that less offensive? That's less than you're always late, get out of my life? Okay? Alright. Okay, next scenario. You are working on a group project, and one member is not completing their portion. You have repeatedly had to finish their work. Alright, how do we say this?
I would appreciate if you would finish your task, please.
Nope. Now, what was that thing at the top that says, careful wording won't help if your voice still sounds blaming. Go ahead.
I would appreciate if you stepped over your task so I could take care of my...
Wait, no. So you have to have an I feel statement and then an explanation.
There you go. I like that. That's what I thought. I feel overwhelmed.
Okay, wait, let's go, Rosemary.
I feel overwhelmed when
Don't feel like a team player because I can't complete all these tasks. There you go. I like that, Carla. Here, let Carla say it. I remember. I don't feel like a team player when I am overwhelmed with all of these tasks and I can't complete them. Can you help me? Is that good? All right. All right. So this takes practice. Yes. Go ahead. Huh?
Mike.
Who? Mike has one?
I was just going to offer to show you how to do it.
So he was going to do what?
Show you how to do it if you need help.
Oh. Okay, so how would you say that? I know, but how would you say that to somebody so they don't get offended?
Once I'm done with my task, I'll be more than happy to help you.
So once I'm done with my task, can I help you with yours?
Sure.
Okay. Next scenario. Your boss keeps dumping new work on you with little instruction and not enough time. Despite working overtime, you're weeks behind.
What is your answer?
What would I say? This is you guys. I practice this all the time. How do you think I get you guys to work every day? Okay, so what would you say?
I said, Debbie, I have too much work to do.
No, I feel. How do you feel?
There you go. Thank you, Amy. Follow the I feel statement.
I need a raise.
No, that's not it. That's not
Really overwhelmed.
Thank you, Joyce.
Is
Keep
there
going.
something that I can do to get a better picture of how I can get all this work done?
Perfect.
Give me an
I feel overwhelmed.
I feel like I need an assistant.
Excuse me, I don't get paid enough to do this extra work.
That's not going to work. You got to be
Nothing is free.
So we get more bees with honey. You got them with vinegar, right? Well, yeah, I got bees. I don't want flies. I want bees. All right. So you do better with the honey than you do with the vinegar. If you put somebody on the defensive, are they ever going to help you? No. And what do you want? What is your common goal? What do you want in the end? You want to get the work done, right? You want to make things easier. You want a good relationship, good communication. And this is good communication. This is how not to put somebody on the defensive.
I say whatever it takes to get what you need is the important thing. So if you need help, whatever it takes.
What was that? I feel.
Yeah.
I feel. That's
I am a
right.
human
But you-
being, and I'll do it to the best of my ability for the best benefit of you. That's as much as I can do.
Are you gonna say I feel?
No, I feel.
One person.
No, you gotta put an emotion in there.
I feel I'm overwhelmed. I feel like I'm not
I
getting-
feel frustrated at the moment because I can't get my work done. That is not an emotion. Tell me an emotion. Tell me an emotion. And also, it can't be in your voice, right? All right, so I need some more I feel statements out of you guys. Let's go, all the way around the room. We're going to practice this. Whatever you want to say, but I feel blank and the explanation.
I feel frustrated when we don't have enough help.
Good, perfect, okay? Me too. All right, next. Well, it's true.
She said, I feel. We didn't say I feel.
Yeah, you
We said
did.
me too.
I feel too.
I feel too, that's right. Christina?
Wow, we need meditation classes to help everyone.
No, that's not, I feel something emotional and then an explanation. I'm coming back to you. Go, Dorian.
I feel tired of working 16-hour shifts, we should get more help.
That's not an emotion, sweetie. That's not an emotion. All right, so let's start with this side of the room. This side failed. I know you guys can do better. All right, Kara.
I feel overwhelmed, trying to have myself.
Good, good.
Yeah.
Taylor.
Company first.
You know, they're kind of all the same.
They are, yeah. But so if you're trying to get the CNAs to do something and you're having trouble getting them to do it, what are you going to tell them?
What did I feel?
Yeah.
I feel that a little bit more effort from everybody to make everybody else's day go a lot better.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not exactly.
Yeah. We got an added emotion to that. Yes. So kind of. Okay.
How about you feel invisible?
No, that's not an emotion. Now, okay. So let somebody tell me, what are emotions? What's an emotional word?
Happy, excited,
Huh?
happy,
excited,
Angry.
hungry. Hungry's not an emotion. Angry, yes.
Tired.
Tired is not an emotion.
The whole time I'm going home. Anger.
Overwhelmed.
Overwhelmed, yeah, you could be. There you go. Good.
embarrassed.
Embarrassed is an emotion.
Distraught.
Distraught, good. Perfect.
Frustrated.
Happy, right? Sad.
No happy.
Joyous. Yeah, okay.
Oh, God.
All right.
But I think hungry is not an emotion, but angry is.
Hangry is an emotion, you're right. I feel hangry when I miss my lunch. There you go. So we need to work together so we can get this done. Yes, that's helpful, okay. All right, so go practice, please. And remember, reactive communication, there's no such thing as over-communicating in healthcare. Always over-communicate.
Where's the chair rack? Oh, just leave the chairs?
I want to stay right here.
Just leave the chairs, I guess, huh? And I hear it in therapy all the time. But you need to do this. You need
She was right here.
Plus she would have texted you anyway.
Yes, you're right. You're right.
Good. How are you? Good. I'm glad to see you get out of here. Appreciate you down there, boy. I appreciate it all. All right, baby. All I'm back.
Yeah.
She's gonna finish my daughter right now.
Oh, yeah, yeah.